Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnur, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Gurave Sarvalokanam, Vishaje Bhavaroganam, Nitaye Sarva Vidyanam, Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha, Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam, Namami Bhagavat Shankaram Lokashankaram. अपार करुणा सिंधुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं चन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओं कोणत्काञ्चीदामा करिकलभकुम्भस्तरणता परीक्षीणामध्ये परिणतशरच्चन्द्रवदना धनुर्बाणान् पाशं श्रीणिं करतलैः पुरस्तादास्तां नः पुरमथितुराहो पुरुषिका माता मरगदश्यामा मातङ्गी मतशालिनी कुर्यात् कटाक्षं कल्याणी कदम्बवनवासिनी कुर्यात् कटाक्षं कल्याणी कदम्बवनवासिनी. So before going into Lalitha Sahasranamam class proper, I thought I will just talk about the Matangi Navaratri which is happening right now, because people were asking, what is Matangi Navaratri? We don't know. We haven't heard of this before. What is the significance? So I've got some question. So since this class is the best class to talk about Matangi Navaratri, because it is very related to Srividyopasana than anything else. So I will talk about the significance of Matangi. Geya Chakra Ratharuda Mantrini Parisevita. அப்படின்னு நம்ம ஏற்கனவே பார்த்திருக்கோம். மந்திரினி அப்படிங்கிற தேவி தான் மாதங்கி, ஷியாமளா, ராஜஷியாமளா, லகுஷியாமளா அப்படிங்கிறதெல்லாம் இந்த அம்பாள் தான் பார்த்திருக்கோம். So we will just little bit expound on Matangi Navaratri, the significance of Shyamala, and what are the sadhanas that we can do during Matangi Navaratri. What are the benefits that we will get by doing Matangi Navaratri sadhana? Part 2, we will continue to Lalitha Sahasranamam meanings. So, Shastras speak about at least 4 Navaratris in a year. There are many Navaratris. There are many more than 4. But at least 4 Navaratris are very famous. One Navaratri is very, very famous. That is called as Sharada Navaratri. It comes in the month of Purattasi. Sharad Ritula Vardhanala, adukku peru Sharada Navaratri nu peru. Sharadungiradhu Ritu, Sharad Chandra Nibanana அப்படினு சொல்றா. Sharadkale Yacha Puja Yacha Varshikim, Sharadkale Maha Puja அப்படினு தேவி மகாத்மியத்திலே இந்த Sharad Navaratri பத்தி வருது. That is the Navaratri that everybody knows. Golu வச்சு கொண்டாடுவோம். துர்கா, லக்ஷ்மி, சரஸ்வதி அப்படின்னு இந்த 3 அம்பாளுக்காக கொண்டாட வேண்டியது இந்த சரத் காலத்துல இருக்கிற சாரதா நவராத்திரி. That is very, very famous. But apart from Sharada Navaratri, at least 4 Navaratris are very, very famous. I say at least 4 because there are many Navaratris which people don't know. It is for only pure sadhakas, serious sadhakas. So, after Sharada Navaratri comes this Matangi Navaratri or Shyamala Navaratri that comes in the month of Magha. It is also called as Magha Navaratri or Magha Gupta Navaratri. And this is for a Devi called as Shyamala. Shyamala, Mantrini, Neela Saraswati. The Ambalna Srividyela very, very important Ambals. Geya Chakra Ratharuda Mantrini Parisevita. Abdina Namur Nama Patu. We saw this Nama in Lalitha Sahasranama when Sri Lalitha Parabhattarika went to do war with Bandasura. There, Ambal's minister is called as Mantrini. And that Ambal, Mantrini Ambal, she got a terna vehicle. She got a ratha. She got a vehicle. It's called as Geya Chakra Ratha Aruda. Geya Chakram nu peru andha ambalukku. ஸோ இந்த மாதங்கி மந்திரினிக்கு கேய சக்கரம் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் அந்த அம்பாளினுடைய ரதம். இந்த அம்பாள், திஸ் மாதங்கி, she is responsible for art forms. In Sri Vidyopasana, this Ambal is responsible for bestowing art forms onto her devotees. அதனால தான் அந்த பாட்டு பாடுறவாளுக்கெல்லாம் ஸ்பெஷலா சொல்லுவா. Especially for those people who sing, who take singing as their career, they have to go to Meenakshi Ambal temple in Madurai and they have to do abhishekam of Ambal with honey, because Meenakshi Ambal in Madurai, Meenakshi Ambal is called as Shyamala Peetham. The temple is called as Shyamala Peetham. Just like how we call Kanchi Kamakshi as Kamakoti Peetham, Madurai Meenakshi is called as Shyamala Peetham, Dwadashanta Sthalam. So much, normally when we speak about Madurai, Sakkanadar irukar, 64 திருவிளையாடல்கள் இருக்கு, அதெல்லாம் தெரியும். But Ambal has got very much significance in Sri Vidyopasana also. அங்க, if we go to Madurai Meenakshi Ambal temple, there is a Uchishta Ganapati Sannadhi right inside, right nearby the Garbhagraha. So all those things are there. So Shyamala, she is responsible for bestowing her devotees with art forms. Nanna paadrathu, fine arts. So whenever I say fine arts, I don't talk about this grammatical form of fine arts. That is not accepted in Shastra. Sangeeta jnanamu bhakti vina sanmargamu galade, says Tyagaraja Swami. Whatever an art form that we do, that we take up as a hobby or as a job, we have to add that art to bhakti. So that art form, it is only a vehicle to reach Bhagavan. If we remove Bhagavan from the equation, then there is no use for such an art. You can use that art to grow your belly, to make money, to eat food, that is fine. But that will not give you any amount of spiritual progress. So any art form, padrado, dance, it can be singing, it can be dancing, it can be a sculpture, it can be drawing, any art form, without a bhakti in it, it is equivalent to, I don't want to tell that name, but it is equivalent to a corpse. Art form, it is a vehicle. Bhakti is the Atma that is present in the vehicle. Just like how our body is a vehicle and we have an Atma. If the Jivatma is removed from the body, then we don't call this body with a name. This body is reduced to a corpse. We won't even say he or she. We will say only it. In the same way, in Sangeeta, in dance, in any art form, if we remove Bhagavan, if we remove bhakti from that art form, it is only a corpse. No use of it anymore. அந்த பக்தியோட இருக்கிற ஆர்ட்டை கொடுக்கிறது தான் இந்த மாதங்கி தேவி, ஷியாமலா தேவிங்கிறது. We have a lot of artists, but how many of them have bhakti? How many of them are singing Tyagaraja's song the way Tyagaraja sang? We don't know, right? Art form, it itself can bestow Chitta Shuddhi to get moksha. There is absolutely no question about it. But we have to understand what is the sentiment with which we have to utilize that art form. And it is this Matangi Devi who gives that right sentiment to perform the art. This is much more important right now, I think, because people think about, okay, I sing this song, I sing that song, I know this raga completely, I can do aroganam, avarohanam in the reverse scale, ellam pandra. But do they have bhakti? We don't know. Without bhakti, an art is nothing but a corpse. So if we pray to this Ambal, if we pray to Matangi, or Mantrini or Shyamala, that Ambal, apart from making us adept in that art form, she will also help us to infuse bhakti into the art form. So whatever we do, yadyat karma karomi tattadagilam shambho tavaradhanam அப்படினு சிவமானச பூஜையில we study. That is what we do here. In the art formல அம்பாள் வந்து பக்தியை தர. So this Shyamala, as I told, it is called as Matangi. So Matangi தான் இந்த மதுரையில இருக்கிற மீனாட்சி அம்பாள் தான் Shyamala அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம். So this 9 days from Prathamai to Navami, this 9 days they celebrate as Matangi Navaratri or Shyamala Navaratri in order to propitiate that form of Shyamala. Next Navaratri that comes is Chaitra Navaratri. It is also called as Lalitha Navaratri. Chaitra Navaratri that comes in the month of Chitra. Sriramanavami otti varum. Sriramanavami ingiradhu 9th naal and Navaratri. So that is called as Chaitra Navaratri. Lalitha Ambikai, Lalitha Sahasranamam and the Navaratri romba romba nalladhu. So it is for Lalitha Devi. And then comes in the month of Ashadha Navaratri. That is called as a Varahi Navaratri. Varahi is the chief in command of Lalitha Parabhattarika. So Varahi Navaratri. And the Varahi Navaratri ke, I think when we started this class, we saw Varahi Navaratri. So I don't want to go much in detail. So for Matangi Navaratri, Vasanta Panchami, yesterday was Vasanta Panchami, it was an important day. In the same way for Chaitra Navaratri, again the Panchami day is very, very special. It is called as Lalita Panchami. That comes in the month of April, May. Ramanavami otti varuthu. The Panchami is called as Lalita Panchami. That is also very, very auspicious for worshipping Lalitha Parabhattarika. So what can we do in this Navaratri? We can chant shlokas that corresponds to Saraswati Devi as well, because Saraswati is nothing but that aspect of Ambal who bestows art. Saraswati is Brahma Patni nanachin irukom, but Saraswati is also one of the aspect of Ambal. There is only one Ambal. Only she aham vibhutya bahubihi abdin Ambal solra. It is only because of my vibhuti I myself get differentiated into all these Ambal, says Ambal in Devi Mahatmyam. So Saraswati kuriya shlokangala padikalam, Sharada Devi kuriya shlokangala padikalam. Saraswati ki yakundentu tushara haradavala, Tamille kuda Saraswati ki shlokangalla irukku. Sakala Kalavalli Malai, Tamil irukku oru shlokam, adu padikalam. Sharada Devi is nothing but is none other than Saraswati herself. So we can read Sharada Bhujangam. There is a beautiful shloka that is written by Sringeri Periyava called as Kamalaja Daita Ashtakam. The shloka is called as Kamalaja Daita Ashtakam. Vidyam Shuddhancha Buddhim Kamalaja Daite Satvaram Dehi Mahyam. Vidyam Shuddhancha Buddhim Kamalaja Daite Satvaram Dehi Mahyam. Mahyam Vidyan Dehi Shuddhancha Buddhim Dehi. Vidya, hey Ambal, please give me knowledge and Shuddhancha Buddhim. Shuddhancha Buddhim na nalla buddhiya kudu அப்படிங்கிற. எப்படி பாரதியார் எண்ணிய முடிதல் வேண்டும் நல்லவே எண்ணல் வேண்டும்ங்கிறாரோ இந்த மாதிரி இதை வச்சுதான் பாரதியார் சொல்றார். So Kamalaja Daitashtakam one can read. And there is a beautiful shloka called as Shyamala Dandakam that one can read. Manikya Veenam Upalalayantim Matalasam Manjula Vagvilasam Mahendra Neeladyuti Komalangi Matanga Kanyam Namatam Swarami Chaturbuje Chandrakalaavatam Se Kuchonnate Kunkumaragashone அப்படின்னு வருது இல்லையா? Shyamala Dandakam written by Kalidasa. Beautiful shloka. So Shyamala Dandakam one can read. Okay, tell me one simple shloka that I can chant. Abdina, there are 12 names of Matangi. Shyamala. Shodasa, sorry, 16. There are 16 names for Shyamala that is present in Lalitopakyanam itself. The Lalita Sahasranamam, what we see, it is a part of Lalitopakyanam. Before the Lalito Sahasranamam, when Agastya is explaining, when Hayagriva is explaining Agastya, you always have to remember that. Lalita Sahasranamam is told by Hayagriva to Agastya. So when Hayagriva is explaining Agastya, the Avirbhavam of Lalita Parabhattarika, the war between Lalita Parabhattarika and Bandasura, he also explains about Shyamala Devi. There he tells 12 names of 16 names of Shyamala. Shyamala Shodashanama Stotra. We also saw there is one stotra called as Varahi Dwadasanama Stotra. 12 names of Varahi. We saw when we were doing Varahi Navaratri, we saw the 12 names of Varahi Ambal. So this is Shyamala. For Shyamala, Agastya says 16, Hayagriva says 16 names. We will share the link with you in the chat box. It is there in our Dharmamulam Sri Lalita Sahasranamam website. We have a link for that. So if interested, we can, people can go and see. Sangeeta Yogini, Shyama, Shyamala, Mantranayika, Mantrini, Sachiveshi, Pradhaneshi, Shukapriya, Veenavati, Vainakicha, Mudrini, Priyakapriya, Nipapriya Kadambeshi, Kadambavana Vasini. 16 names. Sadamatacha Namani, Shodashaitani Kumpaja, Sadamada. With the name Sadamada, starting from Sangeeta Yogini to up until Sadamada, the 16 names are very, very auspicious for Mantrini Devi or Shyamala, Laghu Shyamala, Raja Shyamala. These are the mantra versions of Shyamala Devi. When one is initiated into Sri Vidya Puja Krama, when they are giving the highest mantra, Panchadasakshari, they will give all these mantras. Varahi Udaya Mantram, Shyamala Udaya Mantram, Annapurna. These are called as Anga Pratyanga Devatas Abdin Solwa in Sri Vidyopasana. So they will give different versions of Shyamala mantra during the Upadesa, during the process of Diksha. Okay, if I don't have all these things, don't worry. Just 16 names. It does not even take 10 seconds. Sangeeta Yogini, Shyama, Shyamala Mantranayika, Mantrini Sachiveshi cha, Pradhaneshi Sukapriya, Veenavati Vainaki cha, Mudrini Priyakapriya, Nipapriya Kadambeshi, Kadam Bhavanavasini, Sadamada Chanamani, Shodashaitani Kumpaja. So these are the 16 names of Shyamala. We can chant these 16 names as well in order to get the abundant benefit of Sri Raja Shyamala Devi, so that we also can offer whatever that we are best at onto the feet of Ambal. That is the very, 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 very important lesson that we have to learn. So with this, we will finish the importance of Shyamala Navaratri. We can talk about it a lot, but I'm not going to go into any more detail. Let us come back to our Lalita Sahasranama class and we will see. So now in Lalita Sahasranama, we have seen up until Kundalini Chakra in the last class. So we are seeing the Yogini Nyasa, Vishuddhi Chakra Nilaya, Agnya Chakrabja Nilaya, Manipurabja Nilaya, Swadhishtanam Bujaruda, Mooladharaika Nilaya. So we saw all these 5 chakras from Vishuddhi. Vishuddhi means it represents the throat. Vishuddhi, Anahata, Manipuraka, Swadhisthana, and Mooladhara is at the very bottom. We have seen up until Mooladhara. Now we have to see Agnya Chakra. So we have to see from shloka number 107. Agnya Chakrabja Nilaya, Shuklavarna, Shadanana. So that is the remaining part of shloka number 107. Agnya Chakra Abja Nilaya. Agnya, the Ambal, who is present in the Agnya Chakra. Abja means lotus. Abja, the one which is born from water, is called as lotus. So Agnya Chakra Abjanalaya, Ambal, she has made Agnya Chakra as her residing place, the lotus of Agnya Chakra as her residing place. So what is the Agnya Chakra? Where is the Agnya Chakra present? Agnya Chakra is present in between the eyebrows. Very, very important thing to know. Agnya Chakra, the place of Agnya Chakra is in between the eyebrows, and it has got two petals, two-petaled lotus, the letter Ham and Ksham. So the part of Samskrita Varnamala are being inscribed on the Agnya Chakra. And what Tattvam the Agnya Chakra represents? The Agnya Chakra represents the Manas Tattvam, the mind. Because all the 5 chakras from throat, from Anahata to, from Vishuddhi to bottom, they all represent one element. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithivi, Patam. But Agnya Chakra, it is further evolved into mind tattva. So mind and Agnya Chakra are very, 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 very related. Agnya Chakra Abjanalaya. What is Ambal's color? Shukla Varna. Shukla means white. Ambal is pure white in color. Shat Anana. Shat means 6. Shadanana. She has got 6 face. So from this chakra, the number of face will increase. Vishuddhi Chakra Nilaya 1. Vishuddhi Chakra Nilaya Raktavarna Trilochana Katvangadi Praharana Vadanaika Samanvita. Abdina Vishuddhi Chakra Nilaya Ambal has got 1 face. Anahata 2 face. Manipura 3 face. Swadhisthana 4 face. Mooladhara 5 face. Agnya Chakra 6 face. So Shukla Varna white in color. Shadanana, she has got 6 faces. Majja Samstha. Majja means bone marrow. Bone marrow, she is present in our body in bone marrow. In a Twaktha, abdinu paathom. Rudhira Samsthita, abdinu paathom. Majja Samstha, Mamsanishtha, abdinu paathom. So, oru yoginiyum, they rule over one part, one important aspect of our body. In the same way, this Ambal, she rules over the bone marrow of our body. Now, science says how much important bone marrow is. B cells are being produced from bone marrow. That is why they are called as a B cells. It is one of the most immune, immunity ki varadan T cell, B cell abdimba. So bone marrow landa, even our blood, even red blood cells, everything is being produced from bone marrow. Bone marrow has got some stem cells. Bone marrow transplant எல்லாம் பார்க்கறா. அப்ப கேன்சர் வந்தவாளுக்கு bone marrow transplant பண்றதெல்லாம் they say it is very, 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 very important. Now science accepts that. Our Shastra has already told it. Majja Samstha, this Ambal is responsible for bone marrow. So if somebody has got problems in all these things, they have to do special upasana in order to propitiate this Ambal who is present in Agnya Chakra. In fact, that is what is being told. I didn't tell that before in the last class. So when I say Toksta, this Ambal is present in the skin. This Ambal is Mamsanishtha. This Ambal is Rudhira Samstita. It also means whenever we have problem in these things, we have to propitiate. We have to do special upasana for that Ambal, because that Ambal rules over these dhatus which are present in our body. She will make them well as well. But the procedure we just cannot start by ourselves. It has to be taken from a proper guru who also knows how to do all those upasanas. So Majja Samstha, this Ambal is present in the Majja, in the bone marrow. She rules over the bone marrow which is present inside our bones. Hamsavati Mukhya Shakti Samanvita. One nama, Hamsavati. So next shloka, Majja Samstha, Hamsavati Mukhya Shakti Samanvita, Haridrannaika Rasika, Hakini Rupadharini. Majja Samstha we have seen. Hamsavati Mukhya Shakti Samanvita. This Ambal is surrounded by Hamsavati Shaktis. This Shakti starting from Hamsavati. What are the names of the Shakti? We already have got cheat code. What is the cheat code? This lotus has got 2 petals. What are the letters that are inscribed on the petals? Ham and Ksham. So the first letter, Hamsavati, Ham is there. The second Ambal, she has to start with the letter Ksha, and that Ambal's name is Kshamavati. So Hamsavati, Kshamavati. She is surrounded by these 2 devis. Haridrannaika Rasika. Haridra Anna Eka Rasika. This Ambal likes rice that is mixed with what? Haridra means turmeric. This Ambal likes rice that is mixed with the turmeric. I have told you there is a sampradaya where people, when they have special Lalita Sahasranamam chanting, they will do Nevedyam, which is present in Lalita Sahasranamam. Payasanna Priya, Ghutanna Priya, Mudgaudana Priya, Dadhyanna Priya. அப்படின்லாம் வருது இல்லையா? அந்த மாதிரி 6 நேவேத்தியம் பண்ணுவா. 6 நேவேத்தியம் பண்ணுவா. அதுல இங்க ரைஸ் மிக்சட் வித் டர்மரிக். அதை நம்ம எலுமிச்சம்பழ சாதம்னு நம்ம இப்ப சொல்லி சாப்பிடுறோம். We also mix some எலுமிச்சம்பழம், let us lemon inside it. But what is basically that? Rice, we also add lot of turmeric powder. We also add some lemon juice on it, right? So இந்த எலுமிச்சம்பழ சாதத்தை, எலுமிச்சம்பழம் இருக்கோ இல்லையோ, வெறும் ரைஸையும் டர்மரிக்கையும் மிக்ஸ் பண்ணி வச்சாலே போதுமானது. ஹரித்ரான்னை கரசிகா. Again, we have to think. Haridra means turmeric, right? Whenever our Shastra says something, we don't know why the Shastra says that. But we just have to follow because we have to have Shraddha. We have to have faith in our Shastras. Okay, what is one thing that Shastra says? You have to have Kunkumam in this place. In this place, in between the eyebrows, you have to have Kunkumam. What is this Kunkumam made of? This Kunkumam is made up of Haridra powder. This Kunkumam is made up of turmeric powder. Whenever you add some base to this turmeric powder, it changes its color. And that is what we are all wearing as Kunkumam. This Agnya Chakra, this Ambal is present. In between the eyebrows is Agnya Chakra. And in that Agnya Chakra, Ambaloda per paakaporam, that Ambal is present. And that Ambal likes Haridra. That Ambal likes turmeric powder. That is why our Shastra says, wear, it is not only for ladies, even for gents, wear a Kunkumam in between the eyebrows, because it is supposed to pacify, it is supposed to be Triptikara for the Ambal that is present in the Agnya Chakra. And what is the Tattvam of Agnya Chakra? It is the Manas Tattvam, mind. So whenever we have Kunkumam, it should be Kunkumam. It cannot be sticker put. Sticker போட்டலாம் கணக்குலயே சேர்த்து கிடையாது. அலங்காரத்துக்கு நம்ம வச்சுக்கலாம், பட் சாஸ்திரத்துல கணக்குக்கு சேர்த்து கிடையாது. Because this it has got everything is related. And whenever we have this kind of put, whenever we have this kind of tilakam, சாஸ்திரத்துல இதுக்கு திலகம்னு பேர். Whenever we wear this kind of tilakam, it is supposed to be calming for our mind. In the hypnotism, அதெல்லாம் சொல்லி மைண்ட கலக்கிறதுக்குன்னு இருக்கு பார்த்தீங்களா, அதெல்லாம் இல்லாமல் இந்த ஆக்ஞா சக்கரத்துக்கு நடுவுல இந்த மாதிரி ஹரித்ரா, ஹரித்ரானா பியூர் turmeric powder. So this kunkumam, which is made up of turmeric powder, we have to have. That is the real meaning behind having tilakam made up of turmeric powder on this area of our forehead. There are also other meanings which we will discuss in some other place, but since we are discussing this nama, I thought we would tell this. And what is the next nama? Haridranaikarasika, Hakini Rupadharini. So this Ambal who is present in the Agnya Chakra, she is called as Hakini. So what is the nature of Hakini? Again, Bhaskararaya says in his Saubhagya Bhaskara, it is not present in Lalita Sahasranama, but he says, Bhrumadye Bindu Padme Talayuga Galite Shuklavarnam Karabjaihi. Bhrumadye, Bruna eyebrow. Bhrumadhye, in between the eyebrows, Bindu Padme, Dala Yuga Galite. Yuga means two. Dala Yuga, it has got two petals, right? So Dala Yuga Galite, Shuklavarnam Karabjaihi. Shuklavarnam, the sambal is white in color. Karabjaihi. Bibranam Jnana Mudram Damaruka Kamalam Akshamalam Kapalam. Bibrana, whatever she is having, Jnana Mudram, she is having Jnana Mudra. Jnana Mudra is this mudra. Damaruka Kamalam Akshamalam Kapalam. She is having a Damaruka, she is having an Akshamala, she is also having a Kapala, a skull on her hand. Shat Chakradhara Madhyam. Majja Samstam, Trinayana Lasitam, Hamsavatyadhiyuktam, Shatchakradhara Madhyam. This Agnya Chakra is the Adhara for all the 6 chakras. That is why it is called as Shatchakra Adhara Madhyam. Shatchakradhara Madhyam. Majja Samstam, she is present in the bone marrow. Trinayana Lasitam, she has 3 eyes. She also has 3 eyes. Hamsavatyadi Yuktam. She is surrounded by Hamsavati and Kshamavati Devi. Haridra Naika Sattam Sakala Sukakarim Hakinim Bhavayamaha. Haridra Naika Sattam. Haridra Annaika Sattam. She likes Haridranam, rice and turmeric powder. Turmeric rice. Golden rice. Ninge kadayila uppanga. Golden latte. Abinla inge vekkara illaya. Adan turmeric. Haridrannaika Saktam, Sakala Sukakarim. She does Sukha for everybody. Hakinim Bhavayamaha. So she is called as Hakini. We do Namaskara. We meditate upon that. Hakini Devi, says, quotes Bhaskara Raya in his Saubhagya Bhaskaram, the commentary for Lalita Sahasranama. Now moving on to the next chakra called as the Sahasradala Chakra. It is also called as Brahmarandram. The Talela Uchila irukkiradhukku per Brahmarandram nu peru. The topmost part of our head. There, Sahasradala Padma is there. Sahasra means 1000. Dala, petal. 1000 petaled lotus. So all the other chakras, they have small number of petals, right? So this petal, this Sahasrara, it has got 1000 petals. So what does the Sahasranama says? Sahasradala Padmastha, Sarva Varnopashobhita, Sarva Yudhadara, Shukla Samsthita, Sarvato Mukhi, Sahasradala Padmastha. Ambal is present in the Sahasradala Padma. Sarva Varnopashobhita. What is the color of this Ambal? This Ambal has got all color, multi-color, because whatever that corresponds to Sahasradala, it encompasses all the attributes which are present in all the chakras from the top. So Sarva Varnopashobhita. She is multicolored. Sarva Varnopashobhita. Sarva Ayudhadara. She has all the Ayudas. Sahasrani Sahasrada Bahuvostava Hetayaha. Tashami Shano Bhagavav Parachi Namuka Kridhi, says Rudra. Right? Sahasrani Sahasrada Bahuvostava Hetayaha. She has got thousands and thousands of hands and thousands of weapons on those hands. Sarva Yudhadara. Shukla Samstita. So this Ambal is residing in that very vital fluid which is present in both males and females. Shukla, vital fluid. Shukla Samstita, which is responsible for virility. Adala solron illaya. And the Shukla Samstita, Sarvato Mukhi. How many faces this Ambal has got? Yengengu Kaninum Shaktiyada, Abdina Bharadiyar Padra illaya. Yenga Thirumbinalum and the Ambal irukkalam. Sarvato Mukhi Abdina per Sarvato Mukam Disimham Bhishanam Badram Vrityum Namamyaham Abdina Narasimharode Moola Mantrathla varum. Sarvato Mukana, wherever you turn, Ambal face is there. Meaning what? Wherever you see, only Ambal is there. Countless number of heads. Sahasrasirsha Purushaha, Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat, Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva, Atyatishtaddhashangulam. Abdin solra illaya. இந்த மாதிரி எங்க பார்த்தாலும் அம்பாளுடைய ஃபேஸ் தான் இருக்கான். So she has got thousands and thousands of face everywhere. Sarvato Mukhi. Sarvodhana Prita Chitta. Sarva Odhana Prita Chitta. She likes all the rice. So we have seen 6 rices, right? Haridra, Naikarasika, Mudgaudana, Dadhyana, all Gudanna, Payasanna, all the rices that we have seen, the Sambal likes all of them. So everything is all multi with respect to the Sambal. That is why she is called as Sarva Odhana Prita Chitta. Yaginyamba Swarupini. Yakini. So this Ambal is called as Yakini. So what is the Dhyana Shloka for Yakini Ambal? Mundavyomastha Padme. Mundavyomastha Padme. Dasha Shata Dalake. 10 and 100. 10 times 100 is what? 1000, right? Dasha 10. Shata 100. Dasha Shata Talake. So 1000. 1000 petaled lotus. Karnika Chandra Samstha. Reto Nishtham. She is the Shukla Samstita, present in the Shukla. Reto Nishtham. Samasta Ayuda Galitakaram. Samasta Ayuda Galitakaram. She has got all the Ayudas in her hand. Sarvato Vaktra Padmam. Sarvato Vaktra Padmam. She is her Sarvato Mukhi. Her face is everywhere. Sarvato Vaktra Padmam. Adikshantartha Shakti Prakata Parivritam Sarvavarnam Bhavanim. So what are the letters that are inscribed in the petals? Every letter from A to Ksha. Adikshanta. A to Ksha. That all the letters that are present in the Aksharas. Akshara Varnamala, Matrika Varnamala, it is present in this petal. Sarva Varnam Bhavani. Ambal is multicolored. Sarva Varnam. Sarvanna Sakta Chitta. Parashiva Rasika. Yakinim Bhavayamaha. Sarvanna Sakta Chittam. Sarva Anna Sakta Chittam. Sarvodhana Prita Chitta. She likes all the rices. Chittam Parashiva Rasikam. Ambal is present in the Sahasrara. Ambal Rasika. She enjoys Parameshwara. That is why Adi Shankaracharya says in Saundarya Lahari, Sahasrare Padme Saharahasi Patya Viharase. Says Adi Shankaracharya in Saundarya Lahari. Sahasrare. Sahasrara is Sahasradala Padma. Sahasrare Padme Saharahasi Patya Viharase. Here Ambal is present along with Parameshwara. Sahasarvanna Sakta Chittam Parashiva Rasikam Yakinim Bhavayamaha. Let us meditate upon that Yakini Devi who is present in the Sahasradala Padma. Up until this Nama, Yogini Nyasam. These are called as yoginis. Shat Chakra Yogini. Sapta, all the 6 chakras, and then you have Sahasradala Padma. Sahasradala Padmastha is there. So all these Ambal we have seen. Now we have to move on to the next theme of Lalita Sahasranama. Again, even in Saundarya Lahari, there are shlokas that are corresponding to each and every chakra. In Saundarya Lahari, it is a great mantra shastra. It is a great yoga shastra as well. But we are not seeing Saundarya Lahari now because, Saundarya Lahari, it is much more secretive. It deals with much more advanced topics of Sri Vidyopasana, which cannot be communicated in this setup. It has to be communicated one-on-one, and depending upon the spiritual progress of the Sishya. So we are not seeing Lalita Saundarya Lahari shlokas here. But if somebody is interested, they can just read the shlokas. There is nothing wrong in reading the shlokas. When Ambal gives her blessings, we can know the meanings of those Saundarya Lahari stotras. But know that all these things, even with much more added details, Acharya has explained in Saundarya Lahari as well. So now moving on to the next shloka. What is the next shloka? Okay. Sarvodhana Prita Chitta Yakinyamba Swarupini. We have seen Swaha Swadha Matir Medha Shruti Smriti Anuttama. Swaha. Ambal is called as Swaha. Swaha, Swadha. the Tvam Swaha, Tvam Svadha, Tvam Hi Vashatkara Swaratmika, Sudha Tvamakshare Nitye Tridha Matra Sthitatmika, says Brahmastuti. That is a beautiful stuti made by Brahma to Ambal in Devi Mahatmyam. It is called as Brahma Stuti, and Brahma starts his shloka with Tvam Swaha, Tvam Svadha, Tvam Hi Vashatkara Swaratmika. Hey Ambal, you are Swaha, you are Swadha, you are Vashatkara, everything. So what are these things? In yajnams, whenever we do yajnams, several key words are used in those yajnams. Swaha, Swadha, Shraushate, Baushate, Vashat, etc. These are called as pranavas, which are used in yajnams. These are called as Shrauta Pranavam ne solluvaadu per. Swaha, Swadha, Shraushate, Baushate, Vashat. So these are called as Shrauta Pranavas, and these are the keywords depending upon to which devata you are giving ahuti. What is an yajna? All the devatas, we have Agni. So Shrauta yajna and Smarta yajna, they are a little bit different, but we give ahuti on to the Agni, and that Agni devata will carry those ahuti to the corresponding devatas. When we are writing a letter, Agni devata, he takes the role of a postmaster. What do we do when we write letter? When we post a mail, when we post a piece of mail, we give the message, and on the envelope we write an address, we write a pin code, and depending upon what is present in the address, the post will be delivered by the postal department, right? In the same way, the ahuti that is given in the Agni Kunta that is present in my house, if I say Bhu Swaha, or if I say Vishnave Swaha, how does Agni know? Okay, this has to go to Devaloka, because now we have got only one loka. World is there. We have got 7 continents is there. When the post is delivered, he will see the last line. Okay, if that is say India, okay, this letter has to go to India. If that say Siberia, this letter has to go to Siberia. If that say Canada, this letter has to go to Canada. So that will be the last thing in the address column that we write. And inside Canada, okay, it has to go to Toronto or Vancouver or Montreal. Then they will see the last but first line. Okay, in India, if it has to go to Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh or Uttar Pradesh, that will be there. And then they will go from bottom to top, right? In the same way, this is just an analogy. Okay. In the same way, if I say Vishnave, Swaha, so the Agni Bhagavan will see, okay, what is the final word? If it is Swaha, it has to go to Devaloka. If it is Swada, it has to go to Pitruloka, because Agni Devata, he delivers to many lokas. We have international shipping, but that is interloka shipping. So Agni Devata will deliver to many different lokas. How does he know to which loka the post should go? He will see the last thing in the ahuti. Okay, this says Swaha. Whenever it says Swaha, then it means this letter has to go to Devaloka. If it says Swada, it has to go to Pitruloka. So Swaha and Swada are those keywords which is used to direct our offering to Devaloka and to Pitruloka respectively. Swahana, it goes to Devaloka. Swadhana, it goes to Pitruloka. Then what are Sraushat, Vaushat, Vashat? These are used depending upon the type of yajna that you say. In the Kovilla Kumbhavishekam Pandrache, if you have noticed it, it is well and better. If not, you can notice from now onwards. After they do Purnahuti, not only in Kumbhavisheka, but in many yajnas, in many homas, Chandi Homam Pandra, Purnahuti Pannitu, they will say Mula Mantra and then they will say Vaushat, meaning all the things that they have offering, all the offerings that they have offered up until now will be packed into one big package and that will be sent. Inside that package, small offerings will be there. Data packets, So in the Mari Vaushat abdingardu, it does a role of packaging all the ahuti so that it can be taken to the corresponding loka without any loss. And the Madri in the Sraushat, Vaushat, Vashat, இதெல்லாம் வந்து depending upon whatever things that you are doing, it does it does that respective functions. But here swaha and swadha is there. Know that swaha is for devaloka, swadha is for pitruloka, and Ambal is in the form of swaha and swadha, because we need to know how does the word swaha has got capacity to direct it to devaloka. How does the word swadha, who gave the power to the word Swada? If I make up some country XYZ and I post, the postman doesn't know where to give that letter because that country does not exist. Even though I have written a word, but that word does not have any meaning, right? In the same way, in order, Ambal is the one who gives meanings to these words. Swaha means this, Swadha means this. Ambal is in the form of Swaha. Amba is in the form of Swada. So Swaha, Swadha. And the next nama, Amatihi. The Mati ni pirikkapadadu, Amatihi ni pirikkanum. Swaha, Swadha, Matir, Medha. When we do Archana, Swaha Namaha or Swaha Yai Namaha, Swadha Namaha or Swadha Yai Namaha, and then Amataye Namaha. So we have to say Amatihi. Amatihi. Mati means Vidya. Madiyugi அப்படின்லாம் சொல்றோம். Amatihi means avidya. இது என்னடா அது வம்பா போச்சு. Ambal is in the form of knowledge. Okay, I accept it. Ambal is in the form of ignorance. Ambal is in the form of avidya. How can I understand? This nama has got lot of different meanings at lot of different levels. Advaitathila, the avidyangarathu, it has got its own meaning, but I'm not going to go very much detail into that. A simple understanding. Shastra says there are two types of vidyas. Dve vidye veditavyaha. There are two types of vidyas. What are the two types of vidya? Paravidya, aparavidya. Paravidya, highest knowledge. Aparavidya, lowest knowledge. Okay, what is highest knowledge? What is lowest knowledge? The Guru himself says, what is the lowest knowledge? Okay, lowest knowledge. Who did Ranbir Kapoor marry? Adalla lowest knowledge. We don't have to worry about all these things. Aduva abdin keta Upanishad adu sollala. What is the lowest knowledge na? Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, Chandas, Jyoti. All these are, we think they are the highest knowledge. But Veda themselves says these things are lowest knowledge. How? Because all the karma kanda that is present in these Vedas, they won't give you moksha. This Veda is separated into two parts. Karma kanda and Jnana kanda. Karma kanda, it deals with the karmas like yajna, ashwamedha yajna, achidram, katakam. All these things are yajnas. And when we do one yajna, there is going to be one benefit. Swarga kamo yajeta. If you want to go to Swarga, you have to do this yajna. If you want to be an Indra, you can be an Indra. So there is a democracy. You can be an Indra. But you just have to do 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. If you can finish 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas, you can be an Indra, says Shastra. All the parts of the Vedas that deals with this Karma Kanda, they are called as a lower Vidya, lower knowledge. Why? Because Karma Kanda, the Phalan is going to be Punyam and Papam. But Punyam and Papam is not going to be Sashvatam. Punyam and Papam cannot last longer. Okay, I have done 100 Ashwamedha Yajna and in my next Janma, I am born as Indra. Can I be happy? No, because there is going to be a Ravana, there is going to be a Kumbhakarna, there is going to be a Hiranyaksha, there is going to be a Hiranyakashipu that I have to be fearful of. Okay, I worship Ambal and they are being destroyed by Ambal. Can I be happy then? No, because there will be some other person who will be doing 100 Ashwamedha Yajna. The moment they finish their 100 Ashwamedha Yajna, My Janma will be over. Now I will be born again in this universe, and that person, he will become the Indra. So even the Indra Padavi, it is not stable. Kshine Vitye Martyalokam Vishanti, says Upanishads. When your punyam is over, it is like, I have got my visa. When I come to USA with a visa, when 5 years is over, they will be sending me back. I have to get a green card. There is no green card, there is no citizenship. Only temporary residence visa. Canada Mari temporary residence visa they will give. Once your visa status is over, you will be kicked down to this universe, to this to this world. So that is called as apara vidya. That is called as lower vidya. Then what is higher vidya? Paravidya. Paravidya is Upanishads, Atma Jnanam. The moment you understand your own self, you will never be born in this universe. So that is called as Paravidya. Akshara Vidya, this is called as Aparavidya. Aparavidya is Akshara Vidya. This is called as Aparavidya or Kshara Vidya. So Ambal is in the form of Aparavidya as well. Amatihi. Just because a Vidya is Aparavidya, it does not mean Ambal is not there. Ambal is there in both Paravidya and Aparavidya. Ambal gives you Punyam. Ambal can also give you moksham. It is in your hand. If you have got a golden plate, ஒரு தங்க தட்டு வச்சிருக்கா, தங்க தட்டு உனக்கு கொடுத்துருக்கா, அந்த தங்க தட்டை வச்சுட்டு நான் போய் வெளியில பிச்சையும் எடுக்கலாம். தங்க தட்டுல I can put some flowers and do puja for Ambal. In the same way, the knowledge is like that golden plate. Ambal is like that golden plate. With that golden plate, I can go beg for, okay, I need this, I need that, I need this punyam, I need that punyam, I want this car, I want this house. Or you can say, hey, I want moksha. It is in our hands. So Ambal is in the form of Aparavidya. That is as well, it is called as Amatihi. Next nama, Medha. Medha, Shruta Dharana Shakti is called as Medha Shakti. Shruta Dharana. Shruta, whatever we have learned. Dharana, the retaining power of whatever we have learned. We could have learned a lot of things. But if I don't remember that at that time I want, what is the use of that vidya? Parahaste gatam vidya parahaste pustakaste gate pustakasta gate vidya parahaste vasham dhanam. The money who is present in others' hand, even though it is my money, if the money is present in somebody's hand, I cannot use it. Like it happened to me yesterday. I want to put laundry. In our apartment, we have to use coins, but I don't have change. It is my money. In my bank account, I have a lot of money, but I cannot do my laundry because I don't have change. In my bank account, money is there, but I currently don't have change. So what is the use of that money? Shastra say no use. In the same way, the vidya that is present in a book, I know this shloka, I know that shloka, I know this part of Veda, I know that part of Veda, but if I cannot remember them, what is the use of that Veda? What is the use of that shloka? Shastra says nothing useful. So, pustakaste, so the vidya that is present in a book will be of no use to you. Practically, you still have to know, okay, in the book, what is the page number? In that page, where is there? We have to search through a lot of things. But this Medha Shakti, Ambal is in the form of Medha Shakti onto everybody else. There is a Suktam called as a Medha Suktam. Medha Devi Yushamana na aga at Vishwachi Bhadrasu Manasyamana Tvaya Jushta Jushamana Durukta An Bragadvatema Vidate Subira Aha त्वया जुष्ट ऋषिर्भवति देवी त्वया ब्रह्मा गतश्री ऋतत्वया त्वया जुष्टचित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्वद्रविणो न मेदे मेधां मगिन्द्रा ददातु मेधां मगिन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विना उभावा दत्तां पुष्करस्रजा अप्सरासु च या मेधागं दर्वेषु च यन्मनः Daivim Medha Saraswati Sama Medha Surabirjushata Jaswaha Ama Medha Surabir Vishwarupa Hiranyavarna Jagati Jagamya Urjaswati Payasa Pinvamana Sama Medha Supratika Jushantam Mayi Medham Mayi Prajam Mayi Yagnistejo Dadhatu Mayi Medham Mayi Praja Mayindra Indriyan Dadhatu Mayi Medham Mayi Prajam Mayi Suryo Bhrajo Dadhatu Mayi Medham Mayi Prajam. So this sukta is called as Medha Sukta. If you chant this sukta, it gives you lot of memory retention power. Retaining memory is one thing, but you should have that presence of mind in order to apply that concept at that time. So Medha Shakti, it gives you that Shruta Dharana Shakti. There are two portions in Upanishads which is used for Medha Kama. It is called as Medha Kama Mantraha. Two portions are there apart from Medha Sukta. Again, these Upanishads and Veda Bhaga has to be chanted only by people who have undergone the process of Upanayana. If they chant, then it will be applicable for the entire family. There is absolutely no question about it. But I just wanted to say there are two more parts in the Vedas apart from Medha Sukta. At least there are two more. There are many parts, but these two people know, people chant, people are chanting these regularly. Both of them are present in Taittiriya Upanishad. So, Chandasam Rishabho Vishwarupaha Chandobhyodhyamrita Atsambabhuva Samendro Medhaya Asprunotu Amritasya Devadharano Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharishanam Jihva Me Madhumattama Karna Abhyam Bhuri Vishrupam Brahmana Koshosi Medhaya Pihitaha Shrutam Me Gopaya Avahanti Vitanvana Kurvana Chiramatmanaha Vasagum Simamagavascha Annapanecha Sarvada Tato Me Shriyamavaha. Avahanti Homam nu pandrom illaya. The mantra that is preceding the Avahanti Homa mantras is Chandasam Rishabho Vishwarupaha Chandobhyodhyamrita Atsambhabhuva Samendro Medhaya Aspranotu Amritasya Devadharano Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jihva Me Madhumattama. All these mantras, they are called as a Medha Kama mantras. These mantras we have to chant if we want to have Shruta Dharana Shakti. Shruta means whatever I have read, Dharana. It has to be, I have to remember all these things. So these are called as Shruta Dharana Mantra. There is also another mantra which is present in Mahanarayana Upanishad. So this mantra, the Avahanti mantra, all these things comes in the Taittiriya Upanishad. First Sikshavalli, Sikshavalli la irukku. But there is also another Upanishad called as Mahanarayana Upanishad. In Mahanarayana Upanishad, there is a portion called as Veda Avismaranaya Japamantraha. The problem with studying Vedas is that if you don't keep in touch with Vedas, not only with Vedas, with any science, with any art form that we do, if we don't keep on touch, if we don't touchliye illa, touch இருக்கணும் அப்படிங்கறால அந்த மாதிரி டச்ல இல்லாம இருந்ததுனா, if we don't keep on practicing those, we will forget those kalais, those vidya. So there is a mantra that says Veda Avismaranaya Japamantraha. If people have studied Vedas, okay, I studied Rudram long ago. Okay, Rudram at least we practice. Okay, I studied Aruna Prashnam long ago. I don't practice. I studied Udaga Shanti long ago. I don't practice. அதுக்கப்புறம் எடுத்து பார்த்தா கிருணிஷ்ரபா ஜப்ரசித்தன்ன அப்படின்னு ஸ்வரமே வராம அப்படியே வரும் அது. Okay, what is the use of that? There is no use, right? So Veda, it says Chandasamrishabho Vishwarupaschando Obhyaschandagashya Vivesha सचागुं शिक्यः पुरो वाचोपनिषदिन्द्रो ज्येष्ठ इन्द्रियाय ऋषिभ्यो नमो देवेभ्यः स्वधा पितृभ्यो भूर्भुवः सुवश्छन्द ॐ नमो ब्रह्मणे धारणं मे अस्त्वनिराकरणं धारयिता भूया संकर्णयो श्रुतं माच्यो ओढ्वं ममामुष्य ॐ. These two mantras are very, very beautiful mantras. Yes, Chandasam Rishabho Vishwarupaschando Obhyaschandagashya Vivesha Sachagum Shikyah Puro Vacho Panishadindro O Jesthayindriyaya Rishibhyo Indriyaya Rishibhyo Namo Devebhya Svadha Pitrubhyo Bhur Vaschanda Om नमो ब्रह्मणे धारणं मे अस्त्वनिराकरणं धारयिता भूया संकर्णयो श्रुतं माच्यो ओढ्वं ममामुष्य ओम. So these mantras are also for medha kama. Shruti dharana shakti avismaranaya japamantraha அப்படின்னு விசேஷ பிரயோகங்கள்லாம் இருக்கு. It is the Ambal Lalita Parabhattarika gives us that medha shakti. So she is called as Medha. With this shloka, we will finish today's class. Swaha, Swadha, Matihi, Medha. Idoda nama mudichirukkom. Rest we will see in the next class. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So in the chat box, we have given link for Shyamala Shodashanama Stotram. So whoever wants to access that stotram, everybody can read that stotram, no problem. So please look for that link in the chat box. In the chat box also, we have given the link for Kamalaja Daita Ashtakam, so that we can all worship Parambika in the form of Neela Saraswati to get Medha Shakti. Thanks a lot. Now next class topic. Harihi Om.
Thank you very much, Shamji. Thank you.